Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study about the Gauss law in electrostatics. In previous classes, we have studied about the electric flux and the torque experienced by the dipole placed in uniform electric field. So, electric flux is nothing but the number of field lines passing normally to the given surface. So, here the Gauss law in electrostatics states that the total electric flux around any closed surface is equal to 1 divided by epsilon times net charge enclosed by that surface. So that is nothing but, let us consider one surface. Let this be a surface. So if it contains the number of charges like q1, q2, q3, q4 and q5 and q6. So if these are the charges present inside this conductor. Now it states that the total electric flux passing through this closed surface can be given by, electric flux is represented by phi is equal to 1 divided by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface. Now the net charge is nothing but, it's the algebraic sum of all the charges present inside this surface. That is nothing but q is equal to q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus q4 plus q5 plus q6. Therefore you can write it as phi is equal to 1 divided by epsilon into q. So where this q is equal to q1 plus q2 so on up to qn. If there are n number of charges, then it will be qn, q1, q2 so on up to it is qn. This is Gauss law in electrostatics. That means electric flux around any closed surface can be found out by using this formula, phi is equal to 1 divided by epsilon naught times the net charge. Hereby for using this Gauss law, we have to consider one surface. That closed surface is called as Gaussian surface. The surface which is used to apply the Gauss law is called as Gaussian surface, and here it will be the Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface, this will be the Gaussian surface. If the charges are present outside this Gaussian surface, let q be the charge or q7 be the charge which is present outside this Gaussian surface, we cannot count this because the Gauss law can be applied only for this closed surface and the charges which are present inside this closed surface. Therefore the total charge, it will be q is equal to so on up to it is q6. We are not considering q7 because it is outside this Gaussian surface. Okay, the Gaussian surface, it is an imaginary surface. It is not real, it is the imaginary surface. By using this imaginary surface, we are going to find out the electric field from the system of charges. Okay. Now we are going to study about the applications of Gauss law. The first application is nothing but, this Gauss law is used to find out the electric field due to number of systems. First application, electric field due to a spherical conductor. So spherical conductor is nothing but the conductor which is in the form of sphere. So let us consider this as a conductor. It is charged, that is positively charged. So it is positively charged. So let charge on this conductor be, it will be q. In order to apply this Gauss law, we have to consider one surface. That surface is called as Gaussian surface. It is called as a dotted surface, and the radius of this conductor, let it be capital R, and the radius of this Gaussian surface, it will be small r. In that we have to consider one point. Here we are considering three cases. First case is nothing but the point P on the Gaussian surface at P and at a distance r. Second case, on the surface when the point P lies on the surface, Third case is nothing but the point P lies inside this surface. So we have to discuss all this case. That is very important concept. So how to derive this relation? So we are going to find out here. So first case is nothing but point P lies outside this shell. Let us consider point P here. This is point P at a distance r, small r, from this center O of the spherical conductor, and capital R is the radius of this charged conductor. So as you can see that as this conductor is positively charged, the electric field lines is directed outward as shown in figure. Okay, let us consider one small area element on this Gaussian surface, and the area vector, that is delta A, is along the direction of electric field. Okay, so now we have to find out the electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface. The electric flux passing through Gaussian surface is nothing but, it is definition, from the definition of electric flux we know that phi is equal to, it is E into delta S into cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field and this area element. Okay, here what we are getting is nothing but phi is equal to summation of E into delta A cos theta. So on taking this, that is nothing but, so we can take it as electric field is constant, and summation of delta S, we are going to take the summation of delta S is nothing but, so summation of delta S or delta S nothing but area of this Gaussian surface. The area of the Gaussian surface is nothing but, it will be in the spherical form, therefore A is equal to 4 pi r square, and the theta is nothing but the angle between E and delta A is nothing but theta is equal to 0 degree, cos 0 degree is equal to, it is 1, therefore you are getting E into 4 pi r square. On substituting these values, we are getting phi is equal to, that is phi is equal to E into 4 pi r square. This is the expression for electric flux. As this is an application of this Gauss law, we have to take the Gauss law equation phi is equal to Q divided by epsilon. Take it as equation number 1 and equation number 2. On comparing these two equations, we are getting E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q divided by epsilon. On solving, we are getting E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon, Q divided by, it will be r square. This equation is same as the equation of electric field due to isolated point charge, therefore the spherical conductor acts as a point charge. So this is one relation. So second case is nothing but point P lies on the surface. The point P lies on the surface. The point P is here in first case. Second case, it will lie on the surface. As it will lie on the surface, the distance r is equal to, it will be radius of the circle, that is r is equal to capital R. Therefore this equation is reduces to E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon Q divided by r square. But as the point is on the surface, we have to consider the surface charge density. Surface charge density is nothing but the ratio of charge per area. Therefore on solving, you are getting Q is equal to sigma into A, but A is nothing but, it is 4 pi r square. So therefore Q is equal to sigma into A, sigma into 4 pi r square. Therefore E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q value is nothing but, it is sigma into 4 pi r square. 4 pi get cancelled, you are left with E is equal to, it is sigma divided by epsilon naught. This is the expression for electric field on the surface of the charged conductor. So third case is nothing but when the point P lies inside. So lies inside, we know that the charge is present only on the outer surface. Therefore the inside the charge is equal to 0, that is Q is equal to 0. Therefore electric field is equal to 0. Inside the conductor E is equal to 0. This is the application of Gauss law, that is it is used to find out the electric field due to a spherical conductor. Okay, so next there are two other applications, that is applications I think